Hey guys, for today's video, we're going to be taking this grown out blonde and giving her the trendy old money blonde color, but making it mushroom blonde. So to start, I'm going to be going through and highlighting her hair to break up her roots, and I'm going to be using Schwarzkopf Lamy with 20 volume and Olaplex. My client doesn't want to lose the brightness around her face, even though we're going to be toning it down. But you know how blondes are, they definitely feel like one shade darker, they feel like their hair is black now. So we want to maintain as much brightness around her face as possible. So we're still going to go through and do her money piece, give her the highlights around her hairline. And also, even though we're going darker, I don't want her roots to just be like monotone. So we're going to go through and break up her roots. Also, for how blonde she is, tones fade. So when her hair starts fading out, I don't want her to feel like she just has like grown out blonde again. I want her to feel like her current blonde that she came in with blends with her roots. So we're going to go through and break up her roots and give her some blended highlights that as her hair grows out and the toner fades, she's not going to feel like she just has like 4 inches of grow out. She's going to feel like her roots blend a little bit more. Also, that heavy line of demarcation from the previous colors that we have done, this will kind of help soften the grow out also. This past year that we've been coloring her hair, we've basically been toning down her blonde, just, you know, mom life. She's has a new baby with 2 other younger kids that are not quite yet school age. And so that's just a lot to handle, and that's really hard to get away for your hair done. So we've been trying other situations that we can do for her hair as far as toning it down, but trying to like maintain the brightness and stuff. But she's kind of been dancing along the line of like just going darker. And so we went darker. We went like, guys, we literally just went like half a shade darker, and she was almost panicking because she's used to being so white blonde that even just a little bit of depth in her hair felt so dark to her, which I explained to her that was going to happen, and we laughed about it when she was like, oh my God, I feel like my hair is so dark. Like, she's totally laid back and cool. Like, she understands it, whatever, it's a process. But it's just funny sometimes, like when you're so used to being so white, and she's been platinum blonde before, that going darker at all like just feels like so dark. So luckily we've been able to like grow out her roots a little bit more, blend her blonde with her roots, so that way hopefully she's adjusting to not being so bright. So yeah, the last few times we've been going like toning down like a level 9 instead of a 10, or like an 8.5 instead of a 10. So now she's at the point where she's like, okay, I'm ready. Like, let's just go a little bit darker. She wanted that like old money blonde color, but I call it like mushroom blonde because she doesn't like a lot of warmth in her hair, which this is really hard to tackle because we can't fill her hair as much as, like, we have to fill her hair, but I can't go in there with straight like copper and like all the warm tones that she needs to truly fill her hair, because she does not want to see warmth in her hair at all, even though that's impossible. Even though when you're standing out in the sun and the light hits, whatever, like it's going to reflect warmth because all color has warmth in it, and I've explained this to her. So we're trying to achieve more of like a mushroomy, like cooler tone instead of like a warmer beigeier color. So this is going to be kind of tricky because one of my concerns is if I can't fill it correctly and all the way, like, is her blonde going to turn muddy? Like, how am I going to do this to where the color holds nicely and looks good? Because I can't go in there and fill her hair, you know, as warm as I want to, because then that reddish color and that coppery color is going to reflect through the color that we put on it, or when her color fades, that warm is going to be there. So this is like a stressful color, okay? It is a stressful color. If you're blonde and you want to go darker, you need to know and understand that you have to have warmth in her hair. And yes, I explained this to her, like, we have to put warm in your hair, or else the color's not going to hold. And she knows that, but again, like, I still want her to be happy. So it's just like, how do we do this with like creating a cooler tone, but also filling her hair? I don't know. This is one of those things where you have to pray and be like, Lord Jesus, please help me with this color. Please, Lord Jesus, I pray my client is happy. Anyways, long story short, she was happy in the end, but yeah, we're just gonna continue foiling her hair. Normally when I foil her hair, I'm very precise. I'm very like minimal subsections, like super baby fine highlights, super blended, whatever. But because I know that we're going on top of this with a color, and because we're trying to just like break up her roots, even though we're going darker, I'm kind of just taking like bigger sections. I'm kind of just doing like random weaves, and I'm not really like too worried about the placement, just because like it's going to be covered up. But I want, when the light hits it, I want you to be able to see through to the highlights and see that she has like some dimension in her color, instead of just being like a flat, like one shade, like root color. Does that make sense? Okay, bye. So we're not doing a full foil, but we're basically doing a full foil, because we're going all the way up until, like, what is that? Is that parietal? Is that the parietal bone? You guys don't come for me. But yeah, we're basically covering the whole underneath. We've got like the whole top section, sides, and now we're like going through like the bottom half of her head, but we're just leaving that middle section that nobody really cares about, because if she pulls her hair up, she's gonna have that covered. It's just that very back section in the center, like, that we're not foiling through. So basically she is doing like a full foil to break up her hair. So this is the full application that we've done. And you can see here that I just left that very little section in the back left behind. And we're gonna let her process for probably like 30 minutes. All right, I washed her hair out, and then I used some Olaplex to help strengthen her hair. It's pretty blonde, and I want it to hold this color as best as possible, so I wanted to, do deep conditioning before. So first we're going to go through and fill the hair, and I'm using Schwarzkopf Agora Vibrance for this. Equal parts. For her money piece, I'm going to go through with Color Sync and tone her down to an 8N. And then this formulation right here is after filling her hair, and I'm going through with 6N and 6NA half and half. So let me go through and explain like my toner formulation for filling her hair. Normally I would just go through with the 755 because that's like gold copper like extra. But because again, I don't want to overfill her with like too much warmth that she's gonna hate her hair, I went through with the 846, which is like a beige chocolate. So even though it's not like as warm, it's still filling her hair with the warmth that she needs. So it's kind of like a toned down filler than what I normally would use. So I went through at the shampoo bowl and not in her money piece or anything, but I pulled that aside. But I went through and I just put that all over her hair, filled her hair, let that sit, wash it out. And then I'm going through with the last formulation for her all over color, which is the level 6 shade. Was it 6A, 6N, half and half? And I'm first going through and hitting her roots. The thing about blonde when it's so porous is that it can like really suck and absorb that color and go really dark, or it can just grab perfectly but then fade out faster. So you kind of never know what you're getting when you're working with like overly processed like blonde hair. And I'm not saying that her hair is like overly processed in bad condition, but when you've been blonde for so long, like, yes, your hair is overly processed and it can be healthy still. She doesn't have like breakage or split ends or any of that stuff, but it's very blonde. So I'm going to go through and just do her roots, let that sit for about 15 minutes first, and then go through and pull it through the ends and then let it sit for about like another 15 minutes. I'm also not running this color through her money piece, but I am just smudging it at the root just to blend it a little bit more. So here is the color after. She's happy with the color. Okay, look at her root area and see where those little highlights are. That's why we did these highlights, because even though we're covering up the color, you can still see through the toner a little bit and see the definition in her roots, where she's not going to feel like she just has these like solid roots with the blonde. With going over blonde hair and going darker, it's still a good idea to go through and do some highlights to break up the roots, because or else you would have just still seen like that heavy line of demarcation. So she's really happy with the hair. I'm happy with the way that it turned out. I'm super happy that she wasn't panicking over how dark it was, even though she kind of made a joke like, I love it, see you tomorrow, because I'm freaking out now. But anyways, here's her before again, and here is her after. Also, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just going to have a little like quick little behind the scenes at the very end of the video if you want to watch it or not, like whatever. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Not the wind being a paid actor. Look at that cute little breeze. Oh! Okay, wind. Work it, wind. It looks so pretty. It looks like glass. It looks so pretty. It is a Monday. I'm just finishing work after 3 colors. One of them took 5 hours. Sorry, that got loud and I wasn't expecting it to be this loud. But, and also this, what is going on, I don't know. But also, are you even a hairstylist if you're the only one at the salon and your back counter doesn't look like this? How? Like every other day of the week when other people are in the salon, like this never happens, but how come like when I'm the only one, like I'm the troll that doesn't know how to put anything away? Okay, bye.